It appears that news of Rod Rosenstein's departure, or demise, career-wise anyway, may have been a little premature. Now, earlier today, there were lots of conflicting reports that have emerged about Rosenstein getting canned, getting fired, resigning, etc. In fact, Axios reported earlier today that Rosenstein had verbally offered to resign to Chief of Staff John Kelly. Now, that report appears to be incorrect, as Rosenstein Stein continues to be Deputy Attorney General. So, looks like he is still there, still has his job for now. Now, according to Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders, in a statement, she said, President Trump will meet with Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein at the White House on Thursday. Okay, so they're going to meet on Thursday. Now, that's very interesting that day. I'll get into why later. But there's some theories going on here, okay? So Rosenstein still there, still Deputy Attorney General, but he's going to meet with Trump. What is that meeting going to be about? Now, one of the theories that's being talked about is that he will resign before Trump fires him. He thinks, oh my God, Trump's going to fire me over that New York Times story where I talked about invoking the 25th Amendment. Great. So he can't fire me. I quit. There's one, right? Then, of course, there's the other theory where Rosenstein doesn't actually want to resign. And he told Trump, you're going to have to straight up fire me. And then that's what the Thursday meeting is going to be about. Then there's another theory, and this is fun, is that the news of the resignation is to soften the blow before Trump fires him. Okay, there's another one. Then, finally, right now, Donald Trump is at the UN General Assembly. He's away. He's meeting with leaders. So he'll return on Thursday. And as I said before, he will be meeting with Rosenstein on Thursday. You know what else happens on Thursday? Well, I'm going to tell you. So, sources tell Vanity Fair's Gabe Sherman that Trump over the weekend had floated the possibility of firing Rosenstein as a way to knock the scandal swirling around Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh out of the headlines. Fascinating. Now, one source told Sherman, quote, the strategy here was to try and do something really big. Big. Well, that would be big. And as you've seen earlier today and ongoing, Rosenstein is dominating the headlines, right? Now, the interesting thing here, as I said before, is the timing. That's the same time that Trump is meeting with Rosenstein to discuss whether or not he's going to get shit canned, is the same day Kavanaugh accuser Christine Blasey Ford is set to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee about her allegations of sexual assault. Fascinating. Now, the other question here is, if this is a distraction, who leaked it? Did Donald Trump leak it? I mean, look, if you want to talk about leaks in the White House, who is the number one leaker? Donald Trump. It's not like he hasn't leaked to the media before. And, while he's president, before he was president, he would call up the media with an assumed identity, John Barron, and talk to media reporters as if he's some other guy to talk about Trump. Yeah, this is John Barron. I've got a big scoop on Donald Trump. But you could tell it was him. So yes, he's done that before, right? And if you want to hide the Kavanaugh stuff, if you want to be able to shove this guy through, well, I mean, what's more effective than distraction, right? Sherman does note that the leak, quote, certainly had the desired effect of driving Kavanaugh out of the news for a few hours. Fascinating. Now, in all, of course, we don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, on Thursday, I don't know. We do know it's going to be a gigantic circus. We also know that Trump is not happy with the New York Times report, right? The 25th Amendment to remove Trump. We also know he hates the Mueller investigation. So this whatever happens, if he is fired or if he resigns, well, then this could be a gigantic blow to the Mueller investigation, considering how the person who was most likely to replace him, according to Law and Crime, would be Solicitor General Noel Francisco. So this is now starting to catch fire here, and that's his replacement. Now, there's also conflicting reports on this guy, that he might have already recused himself from the Russia investigation. I don't know. Now, if he hasn't, then that could be big, bad news for the Mueller investigation. Let me explain why. For one, Francisco has previously affirmed the president's legal authority to fire any subordinate he chooses. That includes Robert Mueller, the special counsel. I don't like what you're doing. I don't like this investigation, so I'm going to fire. Mueller. And then here's your Solicitor General in charge of overseeing the Russia investigation that says, yep, go ahead. I believe that you have supreme legal authority to fire whomever you want. Go ahead. In fact, here's a statement on that. The president's constitutional responsibility to faithfully execute the laws requires adequate authority to remove subordinate officers. The framers understood the close connection between the president's ability to discharge his responsibilities as head of the executive branch and his control over its personnel. The president's ability to execute the law is thus inextricably linked to his authority to hold his subordinates accountable for their conduct. Now, speaking about the special counsel himself, or at least the appointment of the special counsel, he said, I don't think it would be appropriate for the Department of Justice to appoint a special counsel. He's arguing against the existence of Robert Mueller's position. He said, my own personal belief is that when you hand these issues off to career prosecutors in the public integrity sections, in the U.S. Attorney's offices and the Department of Justice, those attorneys are generally better able to assess whether a case should be pursued. Interesting. Now, he is also a personal choice of one Steve Bannon. Just to kind of show you what his persuasions are. If Steve Bannon likes you, odds are you might not be a good person. You might be exactly what the president is looking for. So, look, there is a lot of speculation going on here today, and none of it ends up in a good place. So, Mueller, you might want to step it up, drop a few indictments here and there, because, as I see it, you might be running out of time. Tick tock, tick tock. Let's go. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.